So when I was in my 20s, I was very empathic. I still am. And whenever someone did something that annoyed me or something that upset me, I would always try and understand why. What was it about them? What was it about their past that had led them to do that, to treat me in that way? And once I had understood why, that would kind of almost absolve them of all responsibility, which isn't a really healthy way to live. So at some point, I started to reflect and I started to think about what's the difference between an excuse and an explanation. And it took me a while to get there, but an explanation just tells you why. It just gives you a reason something happened. An excuse is kind of trickier because it's actually more subjective. It's a question of what you're willing to put up with. So an excuse is really based on your value systems, your boundaries. How is it okay for other people to treat you? What is the kind of spectrum that you give them? How much space do you give them in that? So what you consider an excuse will obviously depend on who the person is in front of you. If it's your partner, if it's a child, if it's a coworker, what you consider to be an excuse may be very different. So next time someone does something that upsets you, something where you feel that you haven't been treated very well, ask yourself what you think is reasonable in that situation. And then maybe consider having a conversation with that person.